finally getting in some bragging rights to becoming the undisputed YouTube boxing champion. Here's why KSI is so eager to fight Jake Paul. Right off the bat, plain and simple, he's gonna strike while the iron is hot. That's right, this is the opportune time to get in all the trash talk and character assassination and to convince the problem child to ink out the contract. There have been some insane boxing rivalries in the past. I'm talking about feuds like Ali versus Frazier, Floyd versus Pacquiao, and Fury versus Wilder. But nothing like this. It's a YouTube boxing fairy tale that awaits its emphatic conclusion. But unfortunately for the nightmare, Jake has been busy bustling it out with the Furies rather than paying attention to his arch nemesis. Frankly, Jake, through all the negotiations, made it seem as though KSI was just an afterthought. I mean, fair play to him. He has fought an actual boxer, something KSI won't be able to do until May 13th, when he squares off against Joe Fournier. But after Jake was being schooled by Tommy Fury in their recent knock, KSI wasted no time in heading to social media, smoking the Jake Paul pack. There was no mercy from KSI, where the world was commending Jake for actually having the grit to last in the ring with a seasoned boxer. Paul responded to KSI's trash talk at his brother's podcast, Impulsive. Jake seemed unfazed, claiming talk is cheap and that KSI's the one ducking him. Well, according to KSI, it's a different story. KSI has made it abundantly clear that he has no plans on making it big in the fight game. His end goal is to beat Jake, and that's it. KSI's an interesting case study of a celebrity. The man has fingers in a lot of pies. Get your mind out of the gutter. From kicking off the boxing scene with his famous win against Joe Weller, to dropping platinum in music, to owning a prime hydration company with Jake's brother Logan, and this is just scratching the surface. He just, frankly, doesn't need to be among your Canelos and Mayweather to go down in the history books. During a recent interview with Lad Bible TV, KSI said that he has just two goals. Number one, for his boxing promotion Misfits to be bigger than the WWE, and number two, flatlining the problem child. Now that sounds like quite a retirement plan if you ask me. I'm pretty sure his manager, Moms Taylor, has plenty of other projects in line for him, which is probably why KSI is so hell-bent on getting this Jake fight over with, where Jake wants to make it to the big leagues and fulfill his ridiculous hit list of pro boxers. Man just wants to make music at the end of the day. Though, slight problem, KSI isn't really the A-side in the Jake Paul fight, which is why he needs to fight a pro boxer to rinse off the rust. Fans have been begging him to fight Salt Papi, who's arguably better than both Jake and KSI combined. Though JJ's reason for not taking on Busta Breezy, because he simply doesn't want to be distracted. It's either Jake or nothing when it comes to boxing YouTubers for JJ. Where most fighters would be ducking the Ohio-born starlet, knowing that they'd be TKO'd, KSI would have a good reason to be confident. He's beaten someone who's arguably the most athletic Paul out there. After coming in as the underdog in his fight against Logan Paul in 2019, KSI defied all odds and won the bout via decision. Fans may criticize JJ for fighting nobodies, but putting an athlete like Logan down isn't a small feat. Mind you, that wasn't even JJ's best form. You can tell he's more composed now, not throwing haymakers into the wind anymore. His form is impeccable, and he seems to have conditioning for days. He might not be the A-side, but he has more of a chance to beat Jake than any name out there. Plus, if KSI could stop Logan, who's naturally bigger and stronger than Jake, he can definitely put the problem child bandwagon to rest once and for all. JJ was the man who started it all. With just a single call-out in the Copper Box Arena, he initiated this ferocious rivalry. He called out the Paul brothers at a time when they were still making questionable vlogs and dropping rap songs. After pummeling Jake's brother Logan in 2017, KSI went from being the underdog to being the nightmare. And while he was taking his detour, dropping hot new singles, the other Paul brother was sculpting his boxing legacy. Jake Paul transitioned from steamrolling YouTubers and basketball players to UFC legends, and KSI couldn't do anything about it. By the time JJ was back in the game, Paul was being acknowledged even by purists. for his improvement in the game and philanthropic efforts for the fight game. Where once KSI stared down Jake Paul, laughing at him for calling himself the A-side, he was now ironically witnessing his nightmare come true. In the MMA Hour podcast, JJ spilled the beans, calling Jake a fraud, and that each time he'd seen the problem child's success, he'd feel his blood boil. He claims that he's the guy that'll eventually expose Jake for being a phony in the sport. But besides the grudges, I'm pretty sure that it's all about business in the end. One of the biggest reasons why KSI is eager to fight Jake is because, well, it would allow him to earn some ridiculous cash. KSI's promoter, Kali Sauerland, when speaking to Sky Sports, has dubbed it, quote, the blockbuster fight of crossover boxing, and that it has the potential to fill up any stadium in the world. Despite Jake's eyes set on Tommy Fury, he's confident that Paul will eventually come around. Guys, this is a world where YouTube boxing just sells, which is why fans have seen arguably the GOAT, Floyd Mayweather, fight the likes of Logan Paul and Deji for exhibition bouts. And you know Money Mayweather goes where the bank is. KSI has a follower count of over 40 million, with Jake Paul bringing in 20 million plus. No wonder KSI has been eyeing Wembley Stadium for their fight. Jake knows the sheer magnitude of this bout, which is why he has been urging a winner-takes-all stipulation. KSI is eager, but he isn't dumb. He recently jabbed back at Paul's proposal on Twitter, dismissing any negotiation, since Jake hasn't even paid Tommy yet. But at the end of the day, it's more than just money when it comes to KSI. As he said, it's all about legacy. When speaking to Logan Paul on his podcast, KSI revealed a bizarre ritual he does during each fight. The Brit utters legacy, which instantly gets him in the zone. I know KSI loves a bit of anime, but this is some high-level Goku stuff right there. He practices this even when he's balling in music. When speaking to his best friend, Cal Freezy, he said that leaving a legacy is the reason why he does what he does. KSI has always been the underdog, coming from 0 subscribers to becoming one of the hottest stars in the world right now. And the only thing that stands between him and becoming the GOAT in YouTube boxing is none other than the problem child. With all the negotiations and trash talks, rest assured, this fight is coming. It's just a matter of when, not if. With knowledge, strength, and integrity tattooed on his chest, will KSI live up to the bar he set for himself? Or will the problem child put the nightmare to sleep? Guess everyone will just have to wait this one out. And that, folks, is why KSI is so eager to fight Jake Paul.
Like PSI or something, he wants to... KSI, dude. Okay. Well, he wants to fight me, guys. This KSI guy, he like won a boxing match with headgear on, first of all. Nah, I'm gonna save that one for KSI.